Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 99. My name is Heidi, and you can find me on Ravelry as Knitty Girl and on Instagram as Undead Yarn. How is everybody doing? It's been a while, a little bit more than a month, because I was at Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Festival last week, which I will talk about during the podcast. But first, let me go ahead and show you what I've been working on. Because I've been so busy with dyeing, I've been basically trying to knit things that are very simple. Something just bit me. Ew. Ow. Some kind of bug. Yuck. Maybe it was a flea. Ugh. Anyway, this is the Easy Triangle shawl. I think that's what it's called. It's called a knit triangular shawl by John Feddersen Jr. I've knit several of these because they're really easy to knit. I knit one for my grandmother, one for one of my friends, and one for myself, and one for my dog. It's just a very simple shawl, and this is with Mary Maxim's Prism yarn, and you can see it's kind of a gradient yarn. Or you could call it a striping. I guess we'll see what it looks like at the end. It might kind of stripe. And that is a mohair and acrylic blend. And then I also knit a sock. I finished a sock by Brazen Stitchery. And I have a sock blocker here, so let me exchange. I'm going to show you some finished objects on my sock blockers later. This is, I have a hoe, a half-finished object. And this is yarn from Brazen Stitchery, and it's in the Inskein and the Membrane colorway. It is self-striping, and the stripes vary by width as you go along. Over here you can see there's a couple of skinnier ones, and they get wider and wider and back to being wide. So I still have one more sock to go on that. And I also started knitting with a new base. At this point, I'm thinking I'm probably not going to carry it because it seems like most people who buy from me want yarns that are soft. And this is not soft. It's not rough, but it is not the softest yarn. It does dye up wonderfully. It's called Pullworth. It's 100% superwash Pullworth. And once again, this is the Easy Triangular shawl. I wanted something that I could knit while I was sitting in my booth. And this is in the Hall & Oates colorway, which is the colorway, one of the colorways that's in my mini skein set for Supernatural. And let me show you. You can see the color looks better back here. That's exactly what the color looks like right there. So I'm using my Chai Goose for this one, and the other one I think I also am using Chai Goose. No, those look like Addie because it's got a white thing. And I forgot to say, happy Friday the 13th. I've got my Camp Crystal Lake bag by Erica Schmierka with Jason. And look on the inside. I know I've showed this before, but I love that. Like this, I had to pull this bag out for Friday the 13th. And I used it when I was at DFW Fiber Fest too. So those are the things that I'm working on right now. This is an FO that I did not bring to show you guys last time. I did finish these last time because I wanted to finish them before the show. And I still have some blanks of this left, so I think I sold maybe 2 or 3 of them. I still have a couple left. So this is the Demigorgon colorway. Starts with a gray and black stripe, and then it goes to pink and gray stripes, and then it goes to red and gray stripes. So you will get, now my foot is small. I have a size 5.5 foot because I'm a short person, but you can see I think these are fun. For me, I'm going to wear mismatched socks, and I'm going to wear, sometimes I'll wear 2 together, sometimes I'll wear another one together. But you could get 2 long pairs of socks out of the blank if you want, because it is 462 yards. Unless you have a big foot, then you'll just have 2 socks that don't match. But none of them are matching. That was on purpose. If you don't like that, you can always knit a shawl. If you want to look at my Demeter shawlette, I used one of my sock blanks that was striping. How did that happen? It looks like I've got something on my face. I don't. It's the light. It looks like self-striping like this, it's really a gradient stripe, but you can make a shawl with it, and you can still see the stripes. So anyway, I thought these were fun. So this is the Demigorgon colorway, and I will be doing a shop update probably, I will say by Wednesday next week. I'll post on Instagram when I'm going to put things up. Right now there is 1 set of the neon mini skeins. I put that up. That's all I have left is one set. So that's up, but I still have a lot of things to put up. I haven't really put anything new up yet. I also have another FO that I didn't bring, so I guess I will not talk about that one this time. I will talk about that one next time, and I'll wear it. I put it on. I have a skeleton, and I brought him with me. If you look at pictures on Instagram of my booth, you can see the picture of him sitting in the background covered in shawls, and he's got a cap on his head, and that was my other FO, but I will show that to you guys next time. So weeks in review. Well, really, the only thing I remember a lot is DFW Fiber Fest. Basically, all that time before that, I was busy dyeing and getting ready for the show. I went to one knitting group for a short time. Our knitting group that was meeting at IKEA is no longer meeting there because they are renovating the cafeteria there. So we've moved meeting spots, and I'm not sure if it's going to be the same spot as it always was or if it's going to be in a different area. So don't go to IKEA on the 4th Saturday because we won't be there. Anyway, yes, DFW Fiber Fest. It was a lot of fun. It was the 13th, and so I had my colorway, number 13, that I dyed up. And let's see, let me show you. I showed you a swatch before. I have one left in DK weight, and I have a few really tiny little minis that are about 40 yards each. And there's one sparkle, but I think I'm going to keep the sparkle because I want to make some. Because this colorway, it's 13 because it's 13 years. I use their colors, though, that they use for their logo, and it reminds me of July 4th, so I think I'm going to make some July 4th socks on sparkle. How appropriate with this 13 yarn. So I will be putting the DK weight up and the small minis. I think I have 3 minis maybe left. Anyway, it sold well. Thanks, y'all. Everybody, I appreciate everybody who came by. It was a really good show for me. It was probably my best show so far. So I'm very pleased, and I'm looking forward to going back next year. The first day we got there, we just set up, and then I met my friend Jo, who is from Nashville. She was there, and she and her husband and we went out to eat dinner at this. There's a new Toyota Center that's right next to the Irving Convention Center. So it's very convenient because you can just walk over there, or it's like a 2-second, not 2-second, but it's like a minute drive. It's right there. So there are plenty of places to eat. We ate at some place called the Lion Pub one night. And then Anthony and I ate at Grimaldi's another night. And I think there was another, where else did we eat? Oh, we went to this Indian 101 place, which was only 2 miles from the convention center, and it was amazing. I have never had the most amazing Indian buffet ever. It had like every kind of Indian food I've ever had in one place. It was really good. So I would recommend that. I don't think they're a chain. I think they just have one in the one in Fort Worth, or the Irving one. Irving is close to Fort Worth. And the convention center is wonderful. So basically Thursday we just got there, and then we set up and went to dinner. And then the next day we had our market, and Friday was kind of a slow day for me. I think our side of the wall didn't get as much traffic as the ones on the other side on Friday for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's just what happened, because Saturday was amazing. It was really crowded. There were a lot of people. A lot of people came by. A lot of people made purchases, and I met a lot of people. It was really nice. I got to meet Cappy from the Yarn and I podcast. She was there with Two Guys Yarn. My friend Jean and David, my friends. So I got to talk to them, and I made a trade with Cappy. She was really generous. She came around and asked us if we wanted to trade. So I traded her some of my yarn for some of hers. Here it is. Here's her yarn menu. It's called the Yarn and I, and this is the color Cadet, and the base is French Vanilla. I think that's right. And I got it, and it reminds me of my, kind of reminds me of my Club Tropicana colorway, except this one has more blue. Mine has some green in it. I don't see any green in this one. But you'll know I have a thing for blue and orange. So I like this. Thank you, Cappy. This one is a vanilla sock, French vanilla sock, so it's an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So I traded for that, and then my next door neighbor was somebody that I knew. Her name is Amber, and she does Irish Girl crafts, and I just kept looking at this color, and she said it's actually her most popular colorway. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called Purple Sticky Punch, and she said it's a reference from something that I don't watch, so I don't remember if it was a movie or a TV show. But she said it was funny. The first time she dyed it up, her mom looked at the yarn when it was in the pot and said Purple Sticky Punch, and she said, yep, that's it. So it's a reference to a movie or a TV show. I'm not sure which, but look at all the colors in that. Isn't that fun? And y'all know I don't like bright colors at all. Oh, by the way, mentioning bright colors, I'm wearing my Autism Awareness t-shirt, and the nice thing is on the side they put our school district on it and speech language pathologist, and I'm not sure where the person ordered them from. One person ordered these for, there were a bunch of us who wanted them, and this I'm wearing this because this month is Autism Awareness Month, and normally in the past I have been a part of the Autism Awareness knit along with Marlisi and Talia of Penhook and Needles podcast, but this year I just had too much to do because I have that big show at the beginning of April. So I encouraged Marlicia to go ahead and dye up the yarn and do the knit along, and she's actually doing it along with the Yarn and I Cappy podcast, and I think somebody else, I can't remember who right now. Anyway, those were the trades I made, and unfortunately I cannot find what I bought, which is kind of worrying me. I hope I'm pretty sure I got it out of the convention center because I went back to the table and everything was gone, but I'm wondering if I left it at my parents' house. And they don't always tell me when I leave stuff. They just leave it out for me the next time I go visit. So I don't know, but I did find this. I made a purchase from Jinx Yarn. I bought one of her new self-striping colorways, and then she usually just has fiber at shows, so I went through her fiber and I bought this Targhee. And I just love the oranges and grays. I don't know what, it's, well, almost anything that has orange will draw me in. And this one is called Campfire. And it's 100% Targhee, and it's not superwash. But it's really squishy, and I just love the colors. I was very drawn to the colors. So I'm looking forward to spinning that. Let's see how many yards I have. Or it's 4 ounces, so we'll see. I'm going to see how many yards I can get. It's just, it's not superwash, so I probably, whatever I do with it, I will not be making socks with that because it doesn't have any nylon or silk in it, so I'll probably be better off being something else. What else do? We were very busy on Saturday, and I got to see some of my friends, and I also met a new person that I'm in his yarn club. His name is Leon Alexander, and he has Leon Alexander Yarns. And I have posted his skein of yarn that I got from his club on my Instagram feed. I was going to show it on the podcast, but there's another one I cannot find, but I know that one I don't have to worry. It's somewhere in the house because it has not left the house. So I'll have to find that one and show y'all. Or actually, you can go to my Instagram feed and see. The next colorway should be coming soon because I think they come like around April 15th. So that is my next thing that is coming in the mail to me. As well as Lady Di. I think it's Lady Di Yarns. She also has a podcast, and she put out some Black Panther mini skeins. So I bought those. And that's coming soon too because I just thought that movie was amazing. I would watch it again. I told my husband we should buy it when it comes out because I want to watch it as many times as I want because it's so good. Another thing that we saw at in the last few weeks, we went to see the Isle of the Dogs, and I think I saw that before the Fiber Festival. It was really good. It's claymation, and I actually saw Bryan Cranston, I think that's his name. The guy who was in Breaking Bad was one of the main character dogs. And he was on Colbert, and he showed the little clay. I don't know what they made it out of. It looks very realistic though, and he showed how they had to take tons of pictures just for one little scene because they would move the mouth a little bit, move it back, move it up, move it down, move the tail, and they had to take all these pictures. So he said it took a long time to get all that done. That was kind of neat to see. And then last night we saw Ready Player One. Oh my God, I loved it. They changed some of the stuff like they normally do. And I suspect they changed some of it because they met so many times in the book in a chat room. I'm guessing they didn't want to have to worry about CGI for everything, so they had them meet each other sooner than they do in the book. But I did enjoy it, and the visuals at the beginning were so cool when they did the car racing and dancing at the disco. That was just unbelievable. I loved it. But I was really happy my husband liked it too because it's got so many references from when we were growing up. We were both born, I was born at the end of the 60s and he was born at the beginning of the 70s. So we've lived through a lot of that. We were teenagers in the 80s. So it was just so much fun because it's all the stuff that music we listened to and movies we watched. They even had an Iron Giant. They had a DeLorean in there. They had what else? I don't know. It was just really cool. I really liked it. If you read the book, I think you would enjoy the movie. It's not true to the book, but it's really good still. The way they changed things around was still pretty interesting. So I would highly recommend going to see that movie, but also it was my favorite book of last year, so I'm kind of biased. I did want to go ahead and announce the FO thread winner for this month is the person who she knit a pair of my socks with the Bubble Bubble Boil and Toil and Trouble. Her name is Sylvia102, and she's from East Wareham, Massachusetts. So once you hear this, or you see that you've been ear burned, please send me your address. Or not your address, I don't need your address. Just tell me what $7 or less pattern you would like. We had a few FOs in the thread this month. It was really neat to see them. And there's already some for next month. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that you're posting in that thread. Because I do check to see when there's finished objects. I love to see how things knit up because I don't get a chance to knit with all my yarn. I wish I could, but I don't have... I only have two hands. So it's really nice to see that. And then I also wanted to announce the winner for the shorty socks for this month. And I'm hoping that I should have the prize in here. Let me move some stuff around and you might hear a little bit of crinkling. Sorry, that's just going to happen. And this is a bag from my friend. Her name is on the bag, and why did I not? Playing with Needles. And it's really cute. Look at how adorable that is. That is so Undead yarn. And she even enclosed a little yarn ball stitch marker too. So I'm enjoying my bags that I have from her. Her name is on the bag. I'm pretty sure because both of the other bags I have the name on the bag in the front, so you can see who it's from. And I'm pretty sure she calls it Playing with Needles because that's her name on Instagram. So, and she's from Georgetown, so she's from the area. The winner for the shorty socks is Will Travel for Yarn, and that's Maya from Houston. So Maya, when you hear this, why don't you email me or PM me on Ravelry, send me your address so that I can get this in the mail to you. I'm actually kind of jealous because it's really cute. It's got skulls and little bows, just like Monster High. I love that. Anyway, that's for the FO thread, and thank you guys for continuing to post. It's going to run through the whole year. You can do shorty socks. I find that I wear my shorty socks a lot because it's warm here in Texas, so I want to make a bunch of them. I finished that one pair, but now I've got to pick up the Harry Potter ones. I want to finish that pair too. And you can do shorty socks, you can do regular socks, you can do slippers, anything as long as it covers your foot. I would just say yoga socks don't count, but anything else that covers your foot counts, and it can be for a kid or it can be for an adult. I'm open. The prize for next month, or actually it's this month, the prize for April is some yarn from Lydia's Yarn. Lydia's Yarn, and it's her sock yarn. It's very generous. It has 460 yards. And it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's a pale yellow. That's better. There, now you can see it. It's a pale yellow color. So it's a subtle color. And I think this is called Buttercup. Let me check again. It's called Pucker Up Buttercup. So this is the prize for the month of April. Let me hold it back again. There you go. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's raining right now. And it's kind of hard. We have a lanai in the back, and it has a metal roof, so sometimes you can hear it. I like it. I just hope it's not too distracting. And I also wanted to remind y'all that now that I'm only on YouTube, I'm trying to get everybody who used to listen to me on iTunes to subscribe over on YouTube. And here is the incentive yarn. This is Fishnets yarn. And it is a self-striper, and I believe it's 8 stripes. It's called at 6s and 7s. And this one is 400 yards, and it's 80-20 superwash merino and 20% nylon. This I will be giving away once we reach either 1,000 YouTube subscribers or the end of the year, whichever comes first. I think right now we're at around 600. So I know there's still a lot of people who used to listen on YouTube that have not come over. I mean, on iTunes that have not come over. Please do come over. The podcast is much better now because the quality of the video is better because I can upload a better quality video to YouTube. So please come subscribe and watch. You can just click the subscribe button on the bottom underneath the screen. And I also wanted to mention that my next show is the Houston Fiber Fest. I'm excited about that. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that this is another thing I haven't shown before, but I have these new mini skeins. That's my After the Rain color. I went ahead and did them on minis. So you can see it's a more subtle rainbow. Somebody still called it bright, but to me it's not bright because it's not neon. This is an After the Rain pack of minis, and I have a couple of these that I will be posting. I might post one or two along with a gray color, or I may just put the gray on the side, but that's the color that I think would go really well with this is my graveyard color. And it's got all the same colors. Oh, let me get a little bit closer. It's funny that blue, there's the blue. And the purple almost look the same in this picture, but they're not. Here, there, that looks better. So that's something else that's going to be going up on the website. And I think with that, I'm ready to say goodbye. And I will want you guys to all get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.